everybody, so today is a quick review on the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. It is a pot concealer. This is what the cap looks like. So it's a solid concealer. I would say it's different from other solid concealers in that it's pretty thin. I feel like most solid pot concealers tend to have a very thick consistency, but I would say this is a very thin consistency. It has a natural velvety soft matte finish. It's very smoothing and lightweight. I love this concealer. I feel like it fills in a gap in my collection. This retails for $30. It comes with 6.2 grams of product or 0.21 ounces of product. I have mine in the shade Vanilla Light number 2. It's different from their Radiant Creamy Concealer, the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and it's different from their stick concealer. It's very thin, lightweight, matte without being drying. So I love this concealer. I find that it stays put for the entire day for me, the entire 8-hour day for me. And it offers enough coverage that I don't find that I need color correcting, which is awesome because you might not be able to tell with the full coverage that I've got going on right now, but I'm very acneic and red and blotchy right now especially. Before I put on my makeup, I had all this red uneven skin tone, and I used this concealer all along those areas. And it really just sinks into the skin, lightly veils it while offering good coverage. So I'm a big fan. I find that it does last longer if you prime the skin than if you put it on bare skin. I find that it can kind of disappear a little bit on you, but when you prime the skin with either primer, foundation, something underneath, prep the skin, then it lasts a long time. I think that it does a great job of not emphasizing my dry areas, and I have a lot of texture, and this concealer does a great job of not emphasizing it. In comparison, if you've tried the Tarte Shape Tape, I know that one's very popular. I do love that one. I would say that this one is thinner, it doesn't have as much coverage, but it does a better job with dryness. So if you have flaky, dry, textural problems, then this one is not going to emphasize the dryness as much as the Tarte Shape Tape. Conversely, if you compare it to something like the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer or the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, both of those are very emollient. They're liquid, and they tend to be a little bit luminous, a little bit radiant on the skin, and have less coverage, I would say, than this, but be more hydrating. So I love this because it offers that matte finish that's perfect for photography. This is really photogenic. It looks gorgeous in pictures and in video. It offers that really airbrushed effect without emphasizing texture. So it almost feels like it has been powdered already. If you're familiar with their Radiant Creamy Concealer, I always set it with a powder. I find that it travels and settles into fine lines, and it just has too much beautiful hydration to not set it with a powder. This one I find almost feels like when it dries down, it almost feels powdery. Like it has that lightweight powdery finish, and I absolutely love it. You almost don't need to set it with a powder, especially if you're a little bit drier like I am. If you're more oily, I always recommend setting your creams with powders, but this is also pretty unique in that I find that you can touch up with this throughout the day even if you've used powder before. So if I go over an area, like my skin is finished, like I used finishing powder, I used contouring products, I used a lot of powder products over my cream and liquid products. If I go over it, it won't cake up or act weird or different. It just lightly goes over it beautifully. It's very buildable, and you can totally touch up I find that quality to be fairly unique to this concealer. I find it to be pretty uncomfortable to go back in throughout the day and touch up with concealer, especially concealer, because I feel like concealer is finicky and has trouble laying over powder products. That's how it is with almost all the concealers I've tried. It's just tricky because you don't want to disturb the makeup you have underneath. You want to kind of seamlessly repair it without becoming cakey or creating weird rings. Like sometimes when you already have a full face of makeup and you go on with a normal concealer, it can kind of create a bunch up of the products already and just not offer coverage. This is a great touch-up concealer. I love it. It's one of my new favorites. I think it's gorgeous. It has the lasting power that I need, and it's perfect for kind of throwing into my purse and bringing with me throughout the day. The color is perfect for me. It's a little bit lighter than my natural skin tone, and I think that this concealer would be perfect for contouring with because it's so blendable and lightweight, and it sinks into the skin while offering high impact of coverage. So I think that this would be a really nice concealer to do like a whole contouring type thing with it. And when you go a shade lighter, I find that it doesn't look too ashy. I'm going to take my Sephora 57 brush, my favorite concealer brush, and dip that in here. It's so full coverage. A little goes a long way, in my opinion. And I'm just going to dab a little bit right around the eyes. And it's a beautiful matte finish. I find it gives a really pretty sort of airbrushed effect to the skin. I like this one because a lot of my concealers are more of a radiant finish, including the creamy concealer from NARS. But this one is a soft matte, so without drying out my skin, it looks like a no shine product, almost like you've powdered it already. I don't know if you can see how smooth and radiant my skin looks without offering shine. It's really pretty. So I'm lightly brushing this on. I'm going to do half my face with this concealer so you can kind of see the difference. And I'm barely dipping my brush into it. I think this product is great for highlighting and contouring. It's a really nice emollient texture. A little goes a long way. It has a really natural finish. It doesn't look chalky when you go a little bit lighter. It doesn't seem to last as long as something like the MAC Pro Longwear or anything like that. So I sort of spot concealed. I more like did big areas of the face because I have a lot going on with my skin right now. A lot of redness, a lot of blotchiness. So I kind of concealed. Let me zoom you in. Okay, so this half is concealed. The foundation itself has decent coverage, but as you can see with the concealer, it looks pretty flawless. I have a breakout right there that's, you know, it's pretty concealed. My darkness is fairly concealed, my dark spots, my redness. And then this side just has the foundation, so you can see my breakout, you can see the redness and dark spots, redness, blotchiness, redness around the nose, blotchiness, some blotchiness up in here. So that's kind of the difference. This is a pretty thumbs up review. I highly recommend it. I think it's really nice for all skin types. I hope that you enjoyed this review. Please leave a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you're new here, join my Cake Face family, and leave a comment in the comment section down below letting me know if you've tried this concealer, if you have, what you think, if you haven't, if you want to try it. Let me know if there's a concealer that you just are like ride or die, like this is your holy grail concealer. Love you lots. catch you in my next one. Bye guys.